Hey guys, this is Adam with Unleashed Wargaming. Got another battle report, fantasy, 2,500 points, Empire versus Ogres. We did a blind matchup. We didn't know which army we were going to bring together. I think we have about 6 or 7 different armies, so we never know which ones we're going to be facing. Or at least this time we didn't. I didn't get a picture before the game started. I didn't get a picture of deployment. In other words, this is after my movement in turn 1. So I'll go ahead and tell you what everything is. Starting on his left, that back there in the back is the parent unit. It's 40 halberdiers. The banner you see there is his BSB. He has a level 2 beast magic right there on the right, a wizard, and a witch hunter on his left, or on the left of the BSB. This unit here in front with the spears, that's his 20 spearmen, is his first detachment. The 5 archers is his second detachment. He has 6 demogryphs with full command. Behind that is the Celestial Hurricanum, and to the right of it is the War Altar with his general, the Arc Lector, on there. The Arch Lector is pretty defensible. He's got him kitted out to where he's got him a, let's see what he had on him. He's got the Fencer's Blade, so his weapons go 10. Most people need 5s to hit him anyway. The White Cloak of Ulrich makes it -1 to hit him in close combat, gives him a 5-up ward, and a 2-up versus flaming attacks. Then he gets, he would actually have a 4-up ward because of the War Altar itself. So, yeah, he's pretty good. That Beast Wizard has a Dispel Scroll. The Captain, the Battle Standard Bearer, has the Shrieking Blade, so he causes fear. He's got the Charmed Shield, so he could discount a hit on a 2-up, the first hit only. And the Iron Curse icon gives the unit a 6-up ward save. And the Witch Hunter has the Biting Blade, gives him armor piercing. To the right of the demogryphs is 32 swordsmen. In that unit is the level 2 light wizard. And then there's a captain in there with a charmed shield, I think it is, gives him a 2-up. No, not the charmed shield. It's the shield that gives him a 2-up armor save. Next picture, yeah, you can see he's got chaff in the front, a detachment of 5 archers. Then he's got a detachment of 14 spearmen. That's his second detachment. Over here on the right, he's got 3 war machines. He's got 2 cannons and a Hellblaster volley gun, and there is a master engineer in there with him as well. On my side, remember this is after my first movement, no, only movement, nothing else. Starting at the far right in the bottom is 7 ogres, just bulls. They have full command, and there is a level 2 butcher with the lore of the Great Maw. His spells, he got the Tooth Cracker and Spine Marrow, and he is carrying a Dispel Scroll. Right above them are 4 lead belchers, no command. Next to them are 12 trappers, and those trappers, I only brought them hoping I could get his hordes or something to charge them, so they'd have to take all those dangerous terrain checks. I would love to see a whole bunch of them drop on the charge. That'd just be funny. 4 man-eaters, and my man-eaters are carrying ogre pistols, and they have the sniper special rule and the poison special rule, so I can single out characters and try and pick them out of units. Next to them are my Iron Guts. In that unit I have a Tyrant. He has the Gut Maw armor, which in challenges, if he does a wound, he gains a wound. I have the BSB with the 4-up ward save, which was a total accident. I had my army list brought up on the computer, and it got reset. I had to remake my list, and once again I forgot to put the Crown of Command on my BSB, and that sucks. I always take the Crown of Command, and I completely forgot and gave him armor that gives him a 4-up ward. Good job. Also, I have a level 2 butcher in there as well. He's carrying the Great Maw, and he has Brain Gobbler and Troll Guts. So at least I got the good spells I wanted. 12 more trappers that are making a beeline for that ghost fence. That's what that little wall section is, a ghost fence. Whoever gets there first will cause fear. And over on the far left, I have a scrap launcher. Now also, not in the pictures, I have 2 saber tusks and I have 2 gorgers that have yet to come on. There's the first Saber Tusk. I ran him up to that building. He's angled so that he can see the cannon, and the cannon, one war machine can see him, one cannon. So if he wants to get rid of him, he's got to waste a cannon shot. If he doesn't waste a cannon shot, I'm going to have a pretty easy charge and start taking out war machines. On the other side of the board, my other Saber Tusk runs up here out of everybody's charge arc, just going to go behind his lines and try and mess with things. My magic phase, I rolled a 6 and a 5, which is great. I usually roll a 1 and a 2, but I threw Spine Marrow first, hoping to make him throw out some Dispel dice, and he let it go, of course, because what good is Stubborn going to do me in the first turn? But then he was able to stop Toothcracker and Troll Guts, so shut down my magic phase pretty effectively. And the only thing my lore attribute did was let my Butcher take a Strength 6 hit, which, hey, thanks for that, and he rolled a 1, so he didn't get wounded. Shooting phase, my Man-Eaters, first of all, I didn't do a picture of it. The chaff that was blocking them was making it where I couldn't see his character, so I used my lead belchers. I think I did something like 15 shots, killed only 2 archers, but it was enough for me to see the captain, so my Man-Eaters, shot the captain with their sniper rule and the poison rule. He failed his 2-up armor save twice, and so I killed a character there. That was pretty good. The scrap launcher, I tried to center it over the BSB's head, hoping that the killing blow might take out one of the 3 characters all bunched together there. But it drifted over instead and just killed 2 spearmen. Not a fair trade in my opinion, but I'll take it. And that's the end of my turn. That's how everything looks after turn 1, Ogre's turn 1. Empire turn 1, everything just kind of moved forward, packed pretty tight together. His spearmen over on the left moved up to try and get to that ghost fence. Everything else just kind of shambled forward. His Hurricanum in the back turned sideways to extend its range out to more people, as did the War Altar, and that's given them a pretty good combination of +1 to hit in combat and hatred. So, hitting on 3s or even 2s in some instances and re-rolling misses. So, pretty good. I mean, that's a good combo right there. In his magic phase, I think he had 8 dice. He threw 3 of them at the net of Amontok and put it on my Iron Guts. With Strength 5 in that unit, I should be able to break out of it with my Tyrant, but I couldn't stop him. As you can see, he rolled 2 6s and a 5, so he got the spell off irresistibly. And the Backlash put a wound on his Wizard, killed 5 Swordsmen, put a wound on a Demigryph, and then it sucked his last 6 dice out of the power pool. So I'm okay with that. Sometimes I like irresistible force. Shooting phase. Over on the right, he's measuring the cannon shot, but his Hellblaster opened up on my little Noblars. He did 14 shots and it only killed 4, so it's kind of making up for my lead belchers there, only killing 2 archers when his Hellblaster only kills 4 Noblars. Then his cannon shot, the extra dice made it go right over the lead belchers. It landed, hit my Butcher, but I got to look out, sir, and then killed 2 Ogres before it stopped. So that's not a bad shot for a cannon. Next, his other cannon misfired and was out for 2 turns, which is enough to pretty much say it's out of the game entirely. Ogre's turn 2, I declare my charge with my Saber Tusk and make it. He piled his crew all over him. They're going to go down fighting. My other Saber Tusk runs around behind his Hurricanum, again, just to be a distraction back there. The Iron Guts, this is my first rant. My Iron Guts declare this charge. I think I needed a 9 on the dice to get there. And if you see, we have a very strict rule. Well, not very strict. It's just a rule. If the dice is cocked to any degree, any extent, you re-roll it. It keeps keeps anybody from saying, "Oh, it's going to be a 1 if it were straight." Arguing. So if it's cocked at all, you re-roll it. So I throw the dice. I roll a 6 and a 5, and before I even get to celebrate, because that's big. That's going to be those ogres that's more than 10 on the dice. So that's D3 impact hits per ogre. Strength 6 on the regular guys. Strength 7 on my tyrant. And before I even get to celebrate, he said, "Hey, isn't that one cocked?" And if you see over beside my iron guts, that little wrinkle in the grass, the carpet thing, the tablecloth, it goes across in front of my ogres, and the dice was barely cocked on it. And I was like, "Yeah, I guess you're right." And I picked it up, needing a 4 better, and I rolled a 3. So instead of having a glorious charge into those demogryphs, I shamble forward 5 inches and just sit there. Anyway, my Gorger comes on in the movement phase as well. One of them, the other one doesn't make it on yet. That's the end of my movement. The magic phase was shut down entirely. I didn't get a really good roll this time, and he was able to stop everything from going off. My lead belchers in the shooting phase, I didn't get a picture of this either. For some reason, I didn't take pictures of whatever lead belchers do. They shot and finished off that chaff, killed those 3 archers there in front of that light wizard, so that my man-eaters could try and pick him out of that unit and kill him too. But I'll tell you, right now, with 8 shots from those man-eaters, they did not move. I needed 5s to hit him, and with 8 shots, I didn't roll a single 5. So Wizard was pulling the matrix there, dodging bullets left and right. The scrap launcher misfired and will sit out for 2 turns, pretty much the remainder of the game. We were on a deadline again. We almost always are, and but it wouldn't have made a difference. It was out for 2 turns. Hand to hand, finished off the cannon crew. Did not overrun and turned to face him. I had put the Gorger where he is because the cannon was blocking line of sight from the other war machines. So if I didn't kill it, those 2 couldn't target him. If I did kill it, he would have to pick one or the other, because the first cannon over there had misfired and couldn't shoot anyway, and the Hellblaster would have to choose between the Saber Tusk and the Gorger. But when I killed the cannon, both of these failed their panic check, and so it didn't make a difference. Neither one of them can shoot anyway. Empire turn 2. He declares some charges. The one on the far left was a pretty easy one. My Noblars did make it to the ghost fence, so at least I caused fear, and I could throw my traps out when he charged me. The demogryphs declare a charge into the iron guts, and the swordsman had to declare a charge into my Noblars because his demogryphs didn't have room to turn. They couldn't pivot before they charged. So he had to charge his swordsman in so that he could get his guys into combat good enough. He didn't want to hit with just 2 guys. So there's the swordsman. They failed their charge, but they moved enough that his back corner could turn with the demogryphs so he could charge with them. The demogryphs made their charge easy enough, and that 1 wound on there is from the miscast earlier. And when the spearmen charged the Noblars, 5 of them died to the dangerous terrain, the traps that they throw out. So that's funny. It doesn't do any good. It's not going to help me win the combat or anything like that. If it had been that horde back there and 10 of them had dropped, that would have been great. But it's still funny to see 5 of them die to the Noblar traps. He did pass his fear test, by the way, for the ghost fence. That's a look at everything after his movement. As you can see, he brought the Hurricanum and the War Altar up behind the demogryphs. That's going to aid them a good bit. Yeah, it did. In combat, his demogryphs hit and did 8 wounds. They killed 2 outright. Put another 2 on the ogre beside him. That hurt. In return, my tyrant has 5 attacks, weapon skill 6, strength 7. He did 1 wound. which is outrageous, needing 3s to hit and 2s to wound. He wounded once. And after that, I think I have 18, maybe even more attacks with Iron Guts and BSB. Great weapons flying everywhere. And I kill one demogryph. And keep in mind, the wound that's on that demogryph up that's still standing was from the miscast. So in total, my entire unit of Iron Guts, that's golly, my goodness, 16 attacks coming out of there, at least strength 6. I did 3 wounds to the demogryphs. He was making armor saves. I was whiffing. It was bad. So totally outclassed right there. But I did stick. I made my leadership check, and we decided to hang around. Oh yeah. And then the Dragonhide banner did absolutely nothing. So anyway, over here, Ogres turn 3. I declare 2 charges. My Gorger will move into the cannon. The Sabertusk will get into the Hellblaster. His engineer, he moved him away. He didn't want his engineer to get hit, so he just kind of ran him south a little bit. Over here, the Noblars declare a charge into the Swordsman, just so they can get out of the way, so that the Bulls can charge into the flank of the Demogryphs. That's going to be great, having the impact hits, the charge, the flank. The banner won't matter because I've already got 2 banners in combat. But yeah, that's going to be nice. An extra rank if he doesn't kill one. Just good all around. In the very back, my Sabertusk charges into the rear of the Swordsman to give +2 combat res and maybe do a couple wounds. They both make it. And then my Ogres. I needed a 4. I was 10 inches away. I've got a 6-inch movement. I need a 4 or better. And so naturally, I just throw a 2 and a 1. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. So instead of getting that charge and saving the day, I just stumble forward 2 inches. In the magic phase, I got off Toothcracker on my Iron Guts here, which that's good. Iron Guts are now toughness 5. That should help. My Lead Belchers open up. I decide to take shots at his general. I never know if he could fail that armor save. You know, -2 to his armor save. And 4 upward saves, 50-50. So I thought, I'll just throw some shots out there, see if I can do 3 wounds. I rolled up 20 shots. I need 5s to hit, and I hit twice. As you can see down there at the bottom, at 1, 6, and 1, 5, I hit 2 times out of 20 shots, and neither one of them wounded. So, so far, my unit of 4 Lead Belchers, which I believe are 43 points per model. Yeah, 172 points of Lead Belchers have killed 5 archers, and that's it. So, way to go. The Gorger did come on in the back. He reminded me that I forgot to roll for him and let me just see, and sure enough, he did come on, so that's good. The rest of the shooting, my Man-Eaters did absolutely nothing. I couldn't shoot into the Swordsman and get the Wizard because my Noblars were in combat. I shot at his Hurricanum. That was the only thing I could see, and did not wound it at all. Didn't do anything to it. Sabertusk and hand-to-hand kills 1 crew member, and they held. The Gorger, however, the Gorger killed all 3 crew members and wiped out the cannon and then overran. And there he is back there behind the Swordsman. The Swordsman in this combat, the Sabertusk run in, he does 2 wounds, I think it was, killed 2 guys. The Noblars killed 2 guys. So, that's good. I've got a rear charge, a few wounds, that's good. He kills 6 Noblars, does no wounds to the Sabertusk, but kills 6 Noblars, and then with his 3 ranks and his banner, he had us beat pretty bad. I was on Snake Eyes, or I think I needed a 3, and neither one of them made it. So the Sabertusk runs back, not off the board, but he's back there. The Noblars fled, and he ran them down. I'm sorry, the Noblar ran, and he ran them down. Looks like he's in a bad position, but remember, this is my turn. So in his turn, he's got a charge, and his flank will be, protected a little better. Over here, the spearmen beat the Noblars that were defending the wall and ran them down. And then this is the final picture. It was getting close to time to go. We rolled it up. I thought, you know what? He doesn't have lances on his knights anymore. This is going to be good. I'm going to get to run in there. We're going to do get a second chance here without his +2 strength on the charge. His demogryphs go first, and he does 8 wounds with 12 attacks from just demogryphs, not knights. The knights did nothing. He has 12 attacks from the demogryphs. He needs 3s to hit me and 4s to wound me because I have Toothcracker up on those guys. And out of 12, he does 8 wounds. So Iron Guts are just dropping like crazy. But that's alright. It's my turn to go back. I have a Tyrant. I have all these characters. My Butcher, my BSB. I think in all I had 18 normal attacks plus my Tyrant. I think my Tyrant did 1 wound, as you can see back there on that demogryph that took 1 from the miscast. Now he's got 2 wounds on him. So my Tyrant did 1 wound again. And then I think it was either 17 or 18 attacks I had. I hit 3 times and then proceeded to roll 3 ones. So I needed 4s to hit him and got 3 out of 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there. And then I needed 2s to wound because these guys have great weapons. 2s to wound, and I rolled 3 ones. And it was all done. I forgot my Crown of Command, which is completely my fault. Donnie had put together a rock hard unit there, 1-up armor save on these guys, and even hitting as hard as I could with these. Well, trying to hit hard with these guys. Couldn't get through it. Couldn't hit. Couldn't wound, and they deserved it. The Ogres deserved to be run down by the Empire. So yeah, I needed a. It was just crazy. We figured it up with my 2 banners. I get a rank. My 1 wound. I needed a 4 to stick. And so I roll the dice. I don't get a 4, of course. I have my BSB, and I roll a 2 and a 2. And I look up and I say, hey, that's a 4. That's what I needed. And Donnie goes, oh, yeah, wait a minute. I got a banner, too. So I needed a 3. So down they go. The Ogres take off running. He runs them down. I think I rolled a 6, and, of course, he ran them down. So at that point, we decided just to roll up 1 combat. He said he wanted to charge with his War Altar and the Swordsman into my Man-Eaters. We put him in there. He did 6 impact hits. We skipped everything else. We skipped magic and shooting just to see what would have happened. He did 6 impact hits, did 5 wounds just through that. And by the end of it, I think I killed like 3 swordsmen with Man-Eaters, and he killed them as well, ran them down. So, good game. The Empire had a real good showing. They just took me apart. It's my first game with the Ogres, but I don't think that I did anything real foolish. Of course, leaving the Crown of Command, that was foolish. And then I remembered looking at this picture. That Butcher right there in the 2nd rank has the Hellheart. And he's not too far from either one of the wizards, and I totally forgot that I had it. It would not have changed the course of the game, not at all. But it could have knocked a nice chunk out of those swordsmen and those halberdiers back there that are all packed together. But either way, it was a good game. Donnie played very well, kept his stuff together, and all supporting each other. And there wasn't much I could do about it. I'd hoped that my Man-Eaters would be able to single out some characters and snipe them out of the units. But only worked once. Wasn't meant to be. So in the future, I think what I will do is take more bulls. I'm not done with the Iron Guts. I think they have a better place than being charged. If I had managed to charge in that first turn, the second turn when I tried to charge, if I had landed that, I would like to see what would have happened. I mean, who knows? Maybe I would have whiffed those attacks too. But if I had broken those demogryphs on that charge, it would have put me right into his War Altar and his Hurricanum, and that really could have broken the back of the Empire. But we have a rematch set up, and I'm looking forward to it. It was a real fun game. I really enjoyed using the Ogres. I've been playing Warhammer Fantasy for 20 years. I've never used Ogres until this game, and I've only played against them once. So it was something new in a game I've been playing for a long time. So I'm really looking forward to getting in more games. We'll post another one real soon. We got a rematch coming up, and hope you enjoyed it.